All right, everybody. Welcome back to Milk and Honeys. Today we have a very special guest, one of the newest faces from Vanderpump Rules, but frankly, probably one of the most interesting people to come out of reality TV in a minute. So he's hot. He's on Bravo, which is usually enough to ruin a person spiritually. But Shayne Davis has actually lived about 9 different lives already.
Yes.
Yo!
Which is honestly rude because some of us are out here trying to survive one.
Yeah,
Right,
so
right,
thanks for
right.
raising back. But yes,
I
we're talking
apologize.
Vanderpump Rules fame, fan reaction, sobriety, survival, entertainment, and the fact that sometimes the person people assume is just another pretty LA face is actually carrying an insane life story. Shayne, thank you so much for joining Milk and Honeys.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. I actually got 9 lives tatted on my lip.
Wait,
here.
really? I didn't even know that.
I bet it's like going away. I got it tatted a minute ago. Yeah.
Look at you know.
Oh my
I honestly didn't even.
They gave me that nickname because they're like, oh, this fool just won't die. Like, overdose, shot, car wrecks. I was like, dude, I just.
Jeez, and yes, we're in a
And you're still hot. And you got shot.
I think
Hot and
actually,
you're hot and you
I'm
got
like
shot.
the Joker, except for instead of what doesn't kill you, it just makes you hotter.
Yeah,
I think that's how it goes.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's a good one.
Yeah.
T.
Anytime you go through a breakup, just say that.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yo.
I'm gonna text it to my ex. when I leave here
Literally,
today.
please.
We're gonna dive right into things. We have a lot we want to cover with you. So when
Yes.
people now know you as the new Vanderpump Rules guy who doesn't work at Sir,
Right.
what do they get right about you, and what do they get wildly wrong?
Which people? Like the people
Just
that
like the fans, people who are watching you.
Oh, I think fuck, what do they? I mean, they all thought I was a douchebag. And maybe I am a little bit.
Except for
I
Where
mean,
King.
again, taking accountability is really great. We talked
Yes.
about that in our last
Yes.
episode.
It's the only way to grow.
Very true.
Exactly.
It's very true.
Exactly.
So they're not wrong. Like, but there's a lot of haters that are just wrong about a lot of things. Like they act like I am out here just dogging women out. I don't live like that. Like I live pretty honest and I have no interest in playing women or hurting women or telling them fallacies that keep them in my pocket or
Yeah.
anything like that. So I think that's where some of the fans got me all twisted. But other than that, I think they aren't super wrong in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I watch your season. I will say you are very transparent and upfront, and I respected that because most people, someone in the scene, she has a boyfriend, but I'm in a dating scene, and people are not transparent in this city at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is respectful
Right.
of you.
But
It's difficult.
Yeah. How do you think that it's been easy for you to kind of be that transparent from the get-go?
Especially in West Hollywood and on reality TV.
Well, no, I think it's like weirdly natural, and there's like a battle of the sexes where people just don't tell the truth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's not. I think men get put on the hot seat a lot, but I'll say like where women have been dishonest to me is to try to get close to me, they'll say they don't want a relationship, and they do. And then and that right there is gaslighting me.
Right.
Where it's like I could guess.
The oldest trick in the book.
No, I'm
Right.
just saying, like, it's
Just
like
wanna be friends.
there's so much, there's gaslighting. I think goes both ways, and I think a lot of dudes love bomb, and I've certainly done my fair share of getting caught in the feelings and not being logically honest with myself, and then getting myself and her in a world of shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, let's get into how it happened with the Vanderpump Rules. How the hell did you get pulled into this chaos? You don't come from this world of reality TV, and so how did this even happen?
My boy Marcus, was like really wanting me to do this, and we have another buddy that we're really tight with that was thinking about doing it too, but he's just a little too successful in acting, where it's like it just could have done too much damage because we just don't know. We don't know. Not only do we not know how we're going to be edited, but we all are aware of like our shortcomings and that those aren't always the best in the film industry. So Marcus was asking me to do it, and I'm already in the area going to recovery meetings. And so I pop in here and there. So people had seen my face, people knew about me. So that's kind of how it just kind of happened naturally.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a risky move on my part. A really risky move because I was already working they're micro dramas, which really aren't really micro, right? They're actually full length movies that are chopped into like 2-minute episodes. But I was already full-time working. and I was working in drug rehab and sex rehab. A lot of people don't know that part. Like that wasn't even shown in the show because they couldn't get access because of HIPAA. They could not get access to, they had an easier time getting on a film set with me than they did. They just couldn't go to a rehab.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I worked at a rehab the entire time I was filming that as well.
Really?
100%. Yeah. I worked 2 days a week. And I had to chop a lot of that down because I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
Right.
Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, how was that kind of
like
getting your
living a double life
mindset?
kinda.
Yes, exactly. It's like you're like Dexter.
Well, are you also a serial killer?
Are you also killing people? But like, you know,
Anything.
I have a list I want to send to you. So.
Not yet. But if these basement dwellers keep testing me, anything's possible. No, I quit working at the sex rehab because I didn't want to be a bad influence on the guys there.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that my dating life is not always clean anyways, but I knew I was about to kind of go party boy with my life. And so I decided to take a step away from the sex rehab with sex addicts because I didn't want to walk in to work one day and then be like, oh, he was my guy. And then be like, oh, but he's living this way. And he's like dating multiple women and telling me not to do what he's doing. Like, so I stepped away from that. Sorry, what was the question?
I don't know. I feel like we have started off in a different way we thought we would.
Right.
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 How is it like
doing the double life? Like you working
that's
there
right. That's
and
right.
then letting it go and going into
interview.
Yeah.
All of our ADD. Ping,
I know.
ping.
We all have it. So beware, guys.
All
We
right,
might
yeah,
be
no, I
talking about.
The double life was tricky, and I think I stopped living a double life probably like halfway through. And I don't mean that and I was fake. I mean that like we all wear masks when we're uncomfortable.
Of course.
And one of the masks that I tend to wear when I'm uncomfortable is I goon pretty hard. I like go full party boy mode because I feel safe. I can keep women away in the sense that they won't take me serious. And I can just hide behind like I'm a doofus, or I can kind of hide. And I've just really started paying attention to these masks and why I wear them and when I'm wearing them. But I wasn't aware at the moment fully. But I could feel something was off. I was like, man, I'm like, I just feel off right now.
Yeah.
I don't feel in alignment. I feel like I'm gonna, And then like, I started opening up when I got more comfortable. By episode 6, you see me like talk about my addiction for real. Stop hiding behind the gunshot wounds. Like the gunshot wounds were traumatic, and I'm over here like, hey, like I got shot.
Right.
Like, but it is traumatic, right? Like it was brutal.
Yes.
and savage.
That is how
It is
people handle trauma. And like I think that also it's really, that's what I reach out to. I'm like, seen a lot of clips of your story and I really respect it. We, all of us have, pretty traumatic stories in this room right now. And I think it's very important to be self-aware and to realize when you got to stop hiding at some point and let people know you. And it's terrifying to let people know you, right?
100%.
Especially, you're not just letting your close circle know you. You're letting millions of people who are watching you every week know you, right? And like when that hits you, like, oh my God, you didn't want to do the show in the first place. Now you're on this show and you're putting all this out there. When that kind of clicked in your brain, like, did you have a freak out?
No, I didn't have a freak out because I felt in alignment.
Good.
And
Love
I was
that.
like, sometimes being in alignment is scary.
Yes.
But I knew, like, and I've said this before, like, not everybody survived from what I came from. Some people really, like, a lot of my closest friends are dead. And so I knew, I was like, man, I'm in a position to talk about a story that not a lot of people in this industry get to. Like the shootouts, the getting locked up, the overdoses around me, all that stuff. Like I know that I can't shut my mouth about it because there's guys out there that are in that position. They're in drug rehab right now. They're fresh out of prison, whatever. And they need to see that there's a guy that can turn it all around. They have to.
Exactly.
Or women, same thing.
Yeah, but
like,
you be that example for people to be like, that's okay.
Yep. Exactly. Do you ever feel misunderstood on site with people? Like right away, obviously. And how long do you think it takes people to start talking to you and they're like, oh wait, you're not a doofus, like you just said. Not that I'm calling you that. I'm just saying.
She literally, before you got here, she's like, oh my God, he's such a doofus.
No, I figured.
I did not say that. That is how rumors get started, okay? I'm not trying to get canceled over here.
Cancel.
But like what is that? What's some of the things that click when you're like, oh, you really realize I'm not like who you
You're
think
not
I
vapid
am. I'm not
thirsty,
that
attention
person.
seeking. You're a real guy who has a pretty face, but
Yeah.
there's more to you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they usually sometimes they usually say that. They'll literally say it like, huh.
I thought you were going to be
I thought you were going to be a complete douchebag.
Yes. Well, sometimes when I walk in a room, people, when they realize I'm nice.
Oh, when we first met, that's how, like, when I first met her, I'm like,
she's going to be such a bitch.
This is 3-4 years
yes.
ago. Oh, she's definitely, she's so hot. She's a bitch.
Most people say that, and I always get that. They're like, I just thought that you were going to be a complete bitch and like blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you're actually really cool. And I love that. I'm like, cool, thanks, I'll take it. Like, I'm glad you think I'm nice because I try to be nice, but like it's always, don't judge a book by its cover. I know it's so cliche, but it really is that thing.
No, you shouldn't. And that I would say to like all the fans out there is like, man, just give it like I know that's part of the fun of reality is that you get to like kind of safely judge, right? Like from your own position, because most people's friend groups and family members have all kinds of problems anyways.
Yep.
And you get to look at this group and judge. But give us the same grace you would give the people in your real life.
Yeah,
right.
Because you might not, before you start leaving those horrendous comments out there, give us a little grace.
That's literally our last episode was about grace and like just giving people grace, which is like a lost art now.
It is.
People want so quickly because everyone's miserable right now. Everyone's life sucks. Want to find a way to make somebody else miserable and make them feel miserable, and it's sad.
And I think behind a screen, it's easy to do that. It's so much easier
even
to
somebody face to face.
For sure. But a lot of times it's easier for people to be that way behind a screen.
Well,
they have a lot of confidence.
Punched in your mouth.
Exactly.
Not yet, right?
Right.
That'd be crazy. You touch a fist.
Like it's like Dexter, like social media version. Just like go to all your trolls' houses and just like. I actually love this idea. Cut the camera. So what do you think for you in your life, in your real life, you care most about when the cameras are shut off? Like, what is the most meaningful thing to you?
Well, I have to be of service to addicts specifically. That's just part of the deal. When you get involved with the recovery community. And that's really just when I feel the best, to be honest. Like I can't really say it's more complex than that. It just is simply that. And you're in alignment when you're doing that. But also to give you some history on that, like as the most selfish dude who learned in my youth and looked up to sociopaths, to be honest, like I always looked up to the guy who just took everything. But you'll always be miserable. And I lived that way as a young man in my teens and early 20s. Everything was like, I was a criminal, I was stealing and robbing and ripping people off all the time and stuff. So
that's what you knew.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's what I knew. And I never got happier. And deep down, that you're not a benefit to society. And I actually think that when you make that a priority, you actually gain a way different level of self-esteem. Like a lot of people think, and not to say there's no esteem built in like lifting weights and your own personal achievements, but I think that those are they hail in comparison to when you truly know deep down that you're of use to somebody else.
I want to get into that a little bit. You've been very public about how your father was absent when you were growing up, legal trouble, jail at times, the family environment involved heavily in drug use. I have very similar background. My mom was in prison, drugs, all the whole thing. So I completely understand that. But I do want to hear from you, not just reading it, about your earliest memories of childhood and kind of like what made Shayne,
Well, it was kind of brutal. Like I remember I don't know why I did this, was some weird shit and I've never really talked about it, but like I remember I had a Godzilla toy and I remember I threw it in the toilet and it's like my dad was around a couple times in my youth and then I ran up to him and I said, hey, my Godzilla toy is in his little leg was in the toilet. And I think what I was trying to do is get him to like rescue me or something.
Right. Yeah.
And then he just came in and he flushed it. And he just like, and he was drunk and he just walked off. And I was like, oh my God. But, you know, that's just one of the earliest memories. I don't know why that popped up or why I even brought it up, but
that's for sure would shape you. When you want to be, you're like asking for help. It's one of those things we all like, that's why we become such like survivalists. And like, we don't want to ask for help as adults because at small age, you didn't know that's what you were doing, but that's what you were doing and it was shut down.
Exactly.
I think too, though, if you have to, it's obviously a little kid's immature way of doing it, which is great. And as parents, like, you can see that, but where I think it becomes problematic in your adult life, if you have like a girlfriend, I see it all the time where people like will do these weird things because they want their partner to fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll actually just a lot of times create more distrust or, you know, it could be in like backhanded comments too. Like,
instead of just saying, hey, I need
This
this
is
from
I
you
need
right
reassurance.
now. And
Yeah.
what do you need from me? You know, like everyone needs things from their partners. So
And it's super difficult and like specifically like for me and my male friends, like male on male friendships, like to just, you know, and it's good too. Like I want to be able to do that because I know my friends would be there. They'd roast me first, which is great, so that we can get rid of the soft part of it. Roast me first, then help me.
Yeah.
But like still just learning how to do that. But anyways, yeah, first memories are like, there's a lot of brutal ones too. You know, I don't want to get too deep into it, but like I remember like I was blind for a little bit. I got my face burned with hot grease. And I just went through a lot of like kind of.
Was this in your home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a lot of, you know, not going to throw anybody in the bus. There was just under the bus, but like there was just a lot of domestic violence in every fashion, parent to child, parent on parent violence. There was just a lot of violence.
Yeah, and you had to sit there and watch that as a young kid and somehow figure out how not to repeat the same.
And I did. I repeated everything that I learned. And I was in anger management by 8. Like I had a brutal, I turned, I was forced into anger management because I could not be charged with a crime by the time I was 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I repeated everything I saw.
Oh,
everything.
When you were a kid though, did you have love for performing or was that not even a thought because of the things that was going on?
I think I watched a lot of performers at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mom was a performer, my dad's a performer, like
not in the technical sense, but you mean as a
as people.
As people.
Like storytellers. My grandma was a huge performer. She was so confrontational, but make a big show out of it. And like,
right.
And everybody needed so much attention. And so I just watched it and I would repeat that too. Like I would go to school and put these big shows on of how sick I was and I'm going to throw up, get me out of here. Like I would. And then of course too, like I had these heroes that I would watch growing up, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, the Denzel Washington, the Will Smith, the, who else was like, Bruce Willis, like these guys, I wanted to be those guys. I wanted to be that. I always saw them as a savage.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think that has like fueled you? I know we're going to get to your acting in a little bit, but the fact that you are an actor now, did those experiences, do you think help your acting now? Like, are those the things you tap into in your performance? Yeah.
I can definitely, I can definitely tap into certain life experiences, you know, like I can definitely go way darker than people I think they would assume.
Yeah.
And I know those guys, I know their psychology differently.
Yeah.
You know, because I grew up with, literally my best friend was a shooter, like blasted 4 people. Like that's for real. Like I knew kidnappers. I knew savages. I knew savages that were laughing about. I remember my dad's best friend would laugh about kidnapping people. Spent almost all his life in prison. Dude was his name was Crazy Dave. He's dead now, but a savage. And like I was like absorbing their dark psychology and watching them and how they move and how they brag about what they've done. And
you can like tap into those though.
Did that make you scared as a kid, or were you just absorbing it?
I was scared.
Okay.
I was scared.
Because I feel like some kids wouldn't know. They're like, oh, this is ha. You know, like especially if adults are laughing at a situation, it's like, oh, then maybe this isn't so bad, you know?
I was scared, but I wanted to impress them. So I wanted to be like them. I wanted to show them that I fit within the tribe. You know? It's like, I was like, oh, this is what a man does. Men are brutal. They do they dominate.
There's no softness.
No.
You seem a little, little not, I don't want to say soft, that's kind of rude, but I feel like you've
No.
like tapped into like your...
You're femme. You like everyone has a masculine, feminine side, and I feel like men and women should both
have both.
Have
and
both.
How do you think you were able to kind of tap into the...
One slight bit of a mama's boy.
Okay.
But that didn't help too much. It just my mom was a little bit just articulate around emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But when I actually learned about softness, it was in like theater in like my early 20s in New York City. Once I left that whole world behind and I watched people get positively reinforced for crying or for talking about being a victim or whatever, I was like, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But at first I was uncomfortable. And then I was like, oh, wow, I got a lot of whatever we're doing here.
Yes.
And so I would like let it out. And at times, like, yeah, there was like time, I remember I like scared some people because I would like went to some angry place where we were like doing an acting scene. And I scared my partner. And then like, she literally was like, I'm scared of this guy. And I was like, oh, but they wanted that because it was like a Meisner class. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just learned slowly but surely through acting how to
release.
You just can't be a good actor if you can't hit a range.
Yeah, exactly.
And if most men can't hit a range, especially come from what I'm coming from, because the only emotion that is tolerated is rage.
Yeah.
So
it's a good point. Like I've talked to her, like even like we both act, and I'm still dealing with my traumas, and I hate to cry. Like I still to this day I don't know how many times I hate to cry. I'm like, you have to know how like figure yourself out with acting, right? You have to know how to tap into these different emotions. Can't just be this monotone like comedy horror, which is my favorite thing. It's very easy, to scream and laugh. But
yes. Well, I mean, scream, yes, but laughing is hard. Comedy is hard, and she's great at it. I don't know how she's so funny naturally. I don't know. Yes, but again, it's like we say, if we don't laugh at our traumas, we cry, and that's okay too. But it's also finding the humor in that and just using that into our craft.
Yes,
right,
100%.
But like what did the younger you think success was? Like, what was your example of that when you were growing up?
Well, I remember when I started getting all lost on the journey and just being like all LA about it. My aunt, straight up meth addict, she like talked to me and she was like, remember, Shayne, when you just wanted to live a simple life and you just wanted some good friends around you and that was it? She said, go back to that. Because I wanted to sit there and brag about where I traveled. I was super young, but like I wanted to really sit back and just brag about achievements. Then none of them made me happier. Yeah, it really didn't. Like I think it genuinely does boil down to just like my relationship with community. Yeah, I mean that's like there's nothing that beats that. And the guy who's always trying to beat everybody is not a strong community member.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there is healthy competition, but very rarely is he involved in that. Like
exactly.
Just to back up real quick, when did you start? Like, when your passion for performing or acting? When did that? At what age did you know you wanted to even dive into that?
Well, I wanted to dive into it probably at like 7, but I didn't actually get into it till
you always, as a child, even going through all this, you always knew this is something you wanted to do.
One of the troubled youth counselors told me.
Okay.
He was like,
you're a little performer.
Well, he was just like, man, I was always in like ISS and stuff, and he told me, he's like, oh, I want to see you in the movies, man.
Oh.
I was a little kid, and I was like, I want to be a monster because I love horror.
Yeah.
Love horror.
Don't let me get to that too. Don't let me forget about talking about
yeah. Absolutely love it. So, but when he said, no, I don't want to see you in a Jason mask. I want to see you. I want to see you and your face on the screen. And I was like,
like I can do
you're
that.
Like, you're like, do I want that?
And did you tell your parents that? Were they support? At what point were they supportive of that?
I mean, they were gonna be supportive off rip because they're just like,
if you're not getting in, but also if you're not getting in trouble, then and you're doing that, I'm sure they're like, yes, let's push for that too.
Or like a famous kid,
you know.
I think they love stories.
Yes,
as messed up as they are and were, like at the end of the day, they're my fan.
Yeah.
You know, they are. I will never say that either of my parents and savages. I mean savages. what they did to me at certain times. But like they were always my fan, and still are to this day. At this point, it's just different though. They're
of
like,
course.
Well,
You
your dad,
did
Yes.
it.
How is your relationship with your parents?
your dad
as
showed up on an
adult?
episode, right? But he came to like your screening.
oh my God, yeah, and that was hardcore. That was hardcore. Like they didn't show the super hardcore shit, and I think it didn't really match. But yeah, no, he told me all kinds of stuff. You know, he told me, you know, if my son can get off drugs, I can. Told me he was proud of me. These are not he never said any of those things to me
Really?
before. But when he left, he said he saw how hard I work and that I'm a workaholic and just sometimes don't really have a life. And he just said, "Hey man, I just want you to be happy, dude."
Oh, that
Then he
never
took
meant the
off.
world.
Yeah, and then it was weird for me because I had a real beef with my dad. You know, I had a super beef with this dude. I wanted to annihilate him because he always told me I couldn't do a lot of shit when I was growing up. You ain't shit, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Even though he was my fan, I know he was deep down just a little bit of a hater on the outside. Tough love. But like, I always wanted to prove him wrong. That was my fuel source. But after he did all that, I didn't really I had to get I had to start developing a more pure fuel source because the fuel source I had been
Tainted.
Yeah, I was like, I'll prove you wrong which is good. You don't want that forever because then you constantly need some new figure to be
Of
that.
course.
Oh,
Of
trust
course.
me,
Yeah.
I get that. Well, I told you like a little bit. I worked for WWE for a long time, and before I got hired, I got offered the job, and I said absolutely not.
Mhm.
I never watched wrestling, but when I was abused as a child, wrestling was always on in the background, so it was always like a trauma thing.
Right.
And then I decided, how funny would it be if my abusers who are still watching wrestling see me pop up on their screen?
Right.
And
Right.
that was my fuel. Like, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you. But that only goes so far before you have to start doing it for yourself. It feels good at first, though.
Yeah.
Right.
It feels good.
It always feels good to poke a little bit.
But then you're
at
like, okay,
first.
what am I doing this for that?
Yes.
For like the vindictive, I'll get you back, or for yourself.
Exactly.
Which clearly you figure that out.
Right.
And look, that's still better than just becoming an abuser,
No, of
right?
course.
It's like a level 1 thing. It's like, and then we grow out of that one.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, that was good fuel source.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
it was like, you know, because I couldn't have just jumped the journey, and my source, my fuel source, maybe yours probably similarly, but mine couldn't have just started out of a place of love.
Mhm.
It wasn't gonna start
No.
there because I didn't know about that yet.
Yep.
Right.
I knew about fuck you. How about that?
Always.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
show you,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get into you getting shot. Okay, I know
Okay.
you've been open about this on the
Yeah.
show. Clearly you have a sense of humor because you have Band-Aid tattoos over your,
Yeah.
which I think is kind
Yeah.
of iconic.
That's pretty iconic. Yes.
Talk for those who don't know. Run us through that. Your friend shot you, right? Your best
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
You just been every way you look. People are like trying to just.
Right. That's.
I don't know why you have deep trust issues. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
understand
like, that's
why.
a lot
Well,
to take in.
it was just a brutal. It's just what it. You know, when you're having a tough time, with the family stuff, you know, and I was for sure. I kind of looked for it out and about, and I found a chosen family
Mhm.
of criminals,
Mm-hmm.
and they were a little older than me. Derek and Dalton, they're both dead now. Love them dudes. But they brought me in,
Okay.
and they showed me a new way of living.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be just like these guys. They robbed
Sure.
people, they smoked crack, and all they did was sleep with women. And that was the whole life. It's like, man,
And 19.
I was even younger by the time. I'm like, at this point, I'm like 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you knew these people for a while.
Yeah, I've been in it. So like, and then I got locked up. I did 7 months. I got out. And when I got out, they were still trying to little bro me, and I didn't really like it. So we got into a street fight, and then our group split apart for a little while, and I went and got my childhood best friend involved with me. And I showed him the ropes. I showed him how to chop dope, how to cut dope, how to sell it, how to use it. He had never done drugs. I showed him the first drug he tried was crystal meth. And I was like, yeah, you feel like Superman, huh? And I was like, yeah, bro. And he came from that type of home where he didn't feel safe. And I was like, I got you, bro. We're going to feel like Superman. You just need crystal meth and a pistol, and you're going to feel great.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we started living. And robbing drug dealers and getting ingredients to cook meth. And, you know, long story less long, he got into an altercation, and then he drugged me into it, you know, and he got into an altercation at a party, and ended up destroying a bunch of people's cars. And then those guys were all looking for him.
Yeah.
And he came and picked me up at like probably at that time 3:30 a.m. And we went to go fight these guys, and we were outnumbered. He pulled his pistol out, and one of them ran in, stabbed him. I tried to tackle the dude, stabbed him, and then he shot me. And by accident, he tried to shoot.
Okay,
the other guy.
so it was by accident.
It was an accident.
Okay.
Yeah. So then he did shoot the guy too.
Okay.
But I actually think the bullet went through me and hit him.
Wait, so wait, how many times were just?
I thought it was 3 times, but I think it was 2 times. So
Okay.
one came in and then shattered and
Okay.
went in a bunch of different directions.
Yeah.
So it blew out the left lung and up the chest, and then hit the spine as well.
Oof.
But it could have been 3 because there's a bunch of little holes.
Yeah.
Right.
But then the one hit the shoulder.
You were temporarily paralyzed, right?
Paralyzed.
How long?
3 months.
Sheesh.
And I mean, what was going like? What were
Right.
the emotions going through you? Were your buddies by your side during this, or was it more like they were scared of like? Did they get arrested? Like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody got arrested.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Did
I
those
mean-
people at the time like check in on you at all,
They're in jail,
or were
aren't they?
they? Well, not everyone was in jail, right? Like the people who were not in jail, who knew what happened to you,
Yeah.
who
You get a
were
good
your
circle
quote
around
unquote
you.
buddies. Did they check on you, or did they kind of just steer clear because now they knew like what you were going through?
No. They were present. A lot of people were angry on both sides, and luckily there was no round 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think that cooler heads prevailed. I think fear prevailed. I think the main antagonists all went to jail very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people were fighting pretty nasty cases. And so the outsiders, because there was some shit talk like, oh, round 2 type talk, which would have just led to people getting killed.
Of course.
But luckily people were scared of losing their lives in prison, and they backed down for a little bit. Nobody made that first move, thank God.
Right.
You
Right.
know.
And what did your parents think during all of this when this happened to you? Like, what was going on?
You know, I think my dad was really worried. You know, he saw this lead up, and he did try to warn me a lot. He's like, man, you're gonna end up just like me, dude. You're not gonna be able to work. You're gonna be that nobody will hire you, man. And my mom wasn't super present at that time, but she came back. She was pretty devastated. I think a lot of it is like subconsciously somewhere. My dad did say that too when he showed up on the show. He's like, you know, that one hit me hard too. He's like, you know, if I was a better dad, maybe you wouldn't have got shot.
Mhm.
Maybe if we were out tossing the football around or something,
I mean,
like
and who knows?
Right.
It's hard-
something
it's
could have
hard
been
to, like,
different.
Of
But
course.
you know, that is what it is. But yeah, they were definitely. My mom was ready for war. I can tell you that.
For
She was
sure.
ready to-
Every
my
mom would.
mom.
Most moms would
Yeah,
be
tell us
ready for
about
war.
your mom. We've heard about your dad,
Yes.
but tell us about your mom.
My mom's was a party girl. My mom's sober now. I think she's got like 2 months. But my mom, very ferocious woman,
Mm-hmm.
but also life of party, goofy, giggly, fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's and always loved me,
Mm-hmm.
but also had her own issues with being honest. A lot of real issue with being honest with
Sure.
herself mostly.
Sure.
And it's probably decades of that, just
Mhm.
not being able to tell herself the truth, and a lot of me suffering and battling with her at times, and then going years without speaking with her too. But yeah, that's pretty much who she was and is. But she's definitely on the right track now.
You think that's why you hold so much value into being so like hyper honest, like because like she wasn't. That's something that you just hold a lot more like sacred, I guess, as being. honest with
Or is it
everyone?
something that maybe you learned that you wanted to teach them? Like maybe they haven't been as honest to you, so you're like, okay, well, I want to be honest and transparent with you guys, so you can feel safe to know that you could do the same with me.
Well, my mom used to be honest at one point. She was in program. She was sober in the early parts of my life, and she rewarded honesty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was very foundational for me. And then I watched her flip script, and then I was very resentful because addicts be doing what addicts do, and then she has zero capacity to me for honesty. And I think it will take her some time to really look back and see, to really see it, maybe. But at least to me, she was super, super dishonest. But yeah, I think that also then, you know, program further reinforced being honest.
Well, I feel like they've got to be massively proud of you based on everything that you went through. I couldn't imagine how proud they are of the man you have become.
Yeah.
We're going to get into some lighter stuff. I know that's heavy. Thank you so much for opening up.
Yes.
I know that was tough. I don't know how often.
That's a lot.
You know, you talk about it on the show, but I know we dug a little deeper. So thank you.
For sure.
After all of this that happened to you, though, you went back and pursued modeling and entertainment. Do you think this was the stubbornness inside of you, hope, delusion, all three? Because didn't you book like some big campaign after the shooting, or?
Well, I booked some runway shows. It was cool. I booked Balmain. I booked Lacoste.
Which is insane
so
because hold on, you were paralyzed. Let's not forget.
Right? Just casually booked some of the biggest.
And so a few months. You said you were paralyzed.
The Lacoste one was in the same year that I was paralyzed.
That's incredible.
That's insane.
The willpower, you know, that you have. Again, the resilience, Shayne. That's incredible.
Yeah. Did you think that you were going to be able to?
He's a stubborn motherfucker. We already
you know, like I don't know.
What's
the question I'm trying to ask? Like, walking in that show, what were you thinking? Like a few months ago, you didn't know if you were going to be able to walk, and here you are walking in a show.
I was just always in survival mode.
Crazy.
I didn't really start slowing down and really start feeling shit probably till years later. So it wasn't like other people around me were like in awe. I remember I was with IMG. They were like, they would like cry and shit. Right. They would do all kinds. And me, I just wasn't there. I wasn't able to absorb. Like I would just look at them like, oh, okay, this is inspiring to y'all. Okay,
you're like, I'm just like doing what I'm supposed to do.
Like there was no other option.
Get better
but I was
and do this.
shocked when I walked outside and there was like people taking pictures of me, and I was like, this is weird. This is weird. Y'all don't know I got shot. Y'all don't know that I was just selling guns. Y'all don't know I was making counterfeit money. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't. Again, we talk about motherfuckers not knowing you.
Of course.
And these people didn't know me at all.
Did that experience make you less afraid of things, do you think? Like just to go for it.
Right? Could go
you know,
from
like
here.
Just to go for it. But I mean, I don't know.
It get too much worse.
Exactly.
I think it was both, right? It's like, I think that there's many ways that I was just not scared of things because I had just seen a different level of catastrophe. But there was, because I saw different levels of catastrophe, I had PTSD for sure, which I didn't believe in back then. It wasn't until years later. They were trying to tell me I had PTSD. It wasn't until years later that I believed it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck.
Like, this is what it is.
It's not normal to walk around my house at like 4 a.m. convinced somebody's in here with me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that was some weird, like, I was like, oh, no, looking back, I was like, dude, this is some weird, like, Vietnam style shit right now.
And that's how you were able to brave? Bravo.
Exactly. Seriously. Oh my gosh.
Nothing. Bravo can't throw anything at you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, what else did you want to talk about? You mentioned it a few times, your sobriety.
Yeah.
When did you become sober? From alcohol? And
it's been an off and on battle. Probably since 19. I actually when I got shot, I was actually 9 months sober.
Oh wow.
Off everything. And then I relapsed after getting shot, of course, on a bunch of opioids. And then I got sober for real my first time at 22. And I've never drank again since then.
Really?
I had too many I'm 33.
Okay.
I had too many demons when I drank.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I knew that. Anything I touched else, I was like, but this is going to get me sent to jail. I just know it. So I never touched alcohol again. It scared me too much. And I never touched crystal meth again because I knew I would
spiral.
I just knew, I was like, I'm going to go to prison.
Yeah.
And now I'm a model. I'm just too good looking. I'm too injured.
Yes.
I can't be like.
Yes.
You kill it.
You cannot. You cannot go to jail.
No,
Okay?
no,
Like-
no, no. I don't have the same connections or friend groups.
Right,
I'm like, I'm
right.
solo dolo as like a very hot injured guy. It's not gonna work. So, anyways, yeah, what the fuck? Where were we headed?
Why you became sober? Or like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So then I relapsed 3 years later on a bunch of kratom and psychedelics.
So I just saw kratom just got pulled off of all the shelves. They're taking all kratom down.
Thank God.
Because it's an opioid.
It's a fucking opioid. Yo, but like a lot of
There's
I
all
hate to
these
say
kratom.
it,
LA
look,
just
a lot
opened a
of-
kratom bar.
That's crazy.
a lot of addicts defend it to the day they're dead right now, and I was
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah.
I was one of them. If you're one of them, bro, if you're one of those guys who got off heroin or you got off this or that or the
Yeah.
third, like, bro, like, I get it. It's better than that, but there's a better, cleaner life,
Yes.
outside of that. So, yeah, that's what I relapsed on, and then I had a girlfriend break up with me over my erratic behavior when I was 27, and then I got clean again for like 2 years, and then relapsed again. So now I got like 3.5 years.
Okay, well, that's
Okay.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It's
So
a process.
for me, the journey's been over a decade long.
Mhm.
Been a
Yeah,
long
you're
journey.
on it.
What's the hardest thing about being sober in an environment like LA, nightlife, entertainment, and now
Because
a
people get
reality show
twisted on your show.
Bravo?
People, I
Yeah.
mean, you see
You
you in
know?
those scenes with everyone getting hammered. And you still
Exactly.
think you're having a good time, and it's hard for people to understand that you can go out and have a good time and not partake in substances. I personally, I'm a social drinker. I don't want to
Mhm.
go out if I don't have a cocktail in my hand. Otherwise, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, it's not always the easiest, but luckily I haven't drank in so long
Yeah.
that I don't really have those urges, but I do have other coping mechanisms to work on, like, which is like any style of like just like constant like intriguing with women in order to that's my drink.
So women is
Mhm.
that's your drug.
That's my yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
smoking women and shooting them up and snorting them, and I'm like, you
women,
know.
you heard that?
Wow.
He wants to shoot you
Yeah.
up.
Everyone's gonna be like, I love that. Okay, calm down.
Calm down, ladies.
Yeah.
Hose off. So you also shared this is during this moment when your dad came and watched your movie or your was it the short whatever the premiere
yeah.
that you did that you were kind of taught about your triggers in that moment too a little bit with him being there. The stuff like that kind of bring up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was a bigger trigger to use. I
Was
almost
it
picked the kratom up.
instant? Like as soon as you
I was on the
knew-
way to pick him up at the
Okay.
airport, and I stopped at the store to get the kratom.
Real okay.
Yeah. I had it in my hand.
Yeah.
Put it back. Pulled it back.
What
put it back.
how did you get out of it? You know.
Because I was doing the lying. I was doing that weird addict lying shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then there was like enough of the sobriety in me to really just sit there and have I was like like legit and mentally ill individual in the aisle, just basically talking to myself in my head. And then I pulled Chat GPT in by the last part. I said, is this technically a relapse? And it was like, dude, come
What
on,
you
this is
already knew
fucking
the
relapse.
answer, but you just wanted them. You always want ChatGPT to tell us.
Every
what
once in a while,
to do.
it puts you in your place, though.
It really does.
I always ask, don't be my friend right now.
Yes.
Tell me what I need to
Tell
hear.
me exactly.
Yeah.
Tell me the truth.
Tell me
like
the truth.
honesty.
Now, when it comes to sobriety, it was not playing games, though. Like, there's many times where it's like, you're doing great. And it's like, no, I'm not. I just cheated.
Right?
Right.
I just hit somebody with my car. You know
Yeah.
what? They should have been walking
Yeah.
on the sidewalk.
This is building character in your life.
exactly.
And you've helped them build character.
We gotta wrap in about 10 minutes. I have so much. I could talk to you
Yes,
for
I
3
know.
hours.
We could literally chat forever and ever and ever.
Let's get to. I want to talk about what you're doing now. Obviously, besides Vanderpump Rules,
Mhm.
acting projects you're working on right now.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Tell us everything.
So many. Yeah. So, obviously the acting thing is great. I just had a vertical drop today on Good Short called Emily's Glow Up,
Okay.
where I play the lead protagonist, and I have like 3 more dropping, one on Drama Box. But for me, the most interesting things that I'm working on is really 2 things. 9 Lives is actually the name of a script I've been working on for a long
Oh, I love
time.
that.
That we're trying to get developed and produced, which is about my life story. So
Mhm.
that's kind of the main mission.
Okay.
And then we have a side quest mission that hopefully Vanderpump will actually be able to film, which is my directorial debut. that's based around a sci-fi thriller.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't give the secret away because
I feel
I'm telling you,
Kayla
it's a
right
Send
now.
us the script.
Yeah,
Got
I
you.
feel Kayla next to me right now, and I just want to like.
I know. Okay, let's get into horror. At least I want to know of all time, old, mid, whatever favorite horror movie of all time.
Well, I would have to say that the thing that has impacted my life the most has to be Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh yes.
Because to me, it's just
Sorry, I love her.
it's just so ahead of its time, though. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, this is where it gets nerdy, but like, it's I don't know of like all the slashers, which I love.
You're kind of giving like a
rest of them.
Freddy Krueger thing right now. Like,
That's
a,
what
like
I'm,
this
oh
is
my
you're
god,
giving very Freddy.
hot Freddy.
You're hot Freddy. We just need to get you some.
Oh my god, that's so true. We need the
It's
hat right
literally
now.
Yes, literally.
Yeah,
I
did
mean, I
get
know their
burned.
outfits.
I'm gonna have the hat in the other room.
I don't watch them, but I know what they're wearing.
I'm like Freddie. I recovered from my burn wound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Freddie's probably the one.
He is. He's so funny too. He's such a comedian.
Oh, yeah, sure.
She won't watch scare. She's so funny.
She's like,
She hates
sure.
horror movies, and she like you've seen A Substance, right? It's not really a horror.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
I
She-
know
she,
it's
she
not
goes,
a
she goes,
substance.
Kayla, you'd be so proud of me. I watched A Substance with the blinds open. I'm like, Vanessa, what do you think's gonna happen? Someone's gonna come inject you
Yo.
with
Well,
the-
I don't know. People were like saying so many different things, and so I have to watch it for myself to understand if for me it's a thriller, horror, slasher, like whatever.
You've gotten
And
better.
so those movies I watch during the day.
You saw Black Phone too.
You saw Sinners.
Yes.
Oh, you saw Sinners?
Yes.
Sinners.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you saw Sinners.
That's not that scary.
No, not Sinners. I didn't think Sinners was like scary, but like, what was the other one?
Black Phone was scary.
Black Phone was scary.
Yeah.
I definitely like watched most of it like this.
Right.
Because I don't know. I feel like if I can't see the whole thing, it's not as scary.
And I know so many girls that believe this.
Yes. And then
That's scarier though, because now you're actually more engulfed. Like you're in the closet,
but
and the killer's right there. Like
But-
you're actually role playing now.
No, it's funny because like she'll jump, but I know obviously like we all know when something scary is about to happen. The music
Yeah.
drops, it's a little too quiet, it's blah blah blah. So I already know it's about to come. So like I'm prepared already. But then she jumps and
Just
I'm
freak
like,
her out.
yeah, and I'm like, what the? And she's
Oh,
like,
that's
she's like,
hardcore.
I kind of just like it. I'm
I
like, you
kinda just like it.
psychopath.
I mean,
She's
I
a
literally fell asleep
psycho.
the other night to Salt 10.
I cannot.
I
I mean, but I
maybe-
do fall asleep to like watching Dateline.
That's true.
2020.
Yeah, she
you know,
watches
I
that.
do watch
That's
True
That's
Crime.
more, yeah, no, because that
I
makes me more
know.
paranoid
That's
about
more
people.
hardcore.
I know. I don't know.
That lasts. That lasts because when you're like walking at nighttime, you're like, oh, everybody's a serial killer now.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
I
yeah.
I
mean,
already
literally,
think that.
we might have one in our studio
here.
right now.
Right now.
literally.
Freddy Krueger.
Okay, so gonna look out for this production, directorial debut, your supplement company that you're telling me about. Is that something that?
Oh yeah, 9 Lives supplement
Oh,
company.
that's
Yes.
my lives.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do a quick rapid fire with you before we go.
Let's
God,
do
we
it.
literally, if we had another hour, I have 20,000 more questions.
Be easy, yeah.
I know.
Okay. A reality TV skill nobody tells you that you need.
Well, they do tell you need to be thick-skinned, but what do you not need? What do you not need? What nobody tells you?
And it's a hard one.
That's a
It's hard. I
tough
don't know
one.
what
That's like a deeper one.
No.
You need.
To know not to look straight into the camera.
Don't look straight into the camera.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would break
Even though
the
they
wall
probably
every
tell you
time.
that, but like
I'd be full like Jim Halpert, like style, like looking
all of a sudden we're fighting, and then I'm like,
Yep.
You start
Hey.
winking at the camera. Oh, you start breaking the fourth wall, man. Like, can you believe it? And this is the moment at which I knew she was nuts.
I mean, that happens on this podcast all the time.
all the time, all the time. Okay,
that's one.
something fans would be shocked to know you're actually insecure about.
Yeah, because you don't
I
give
guess
insecure.
I actually am insecure about like the gunshot wounds
Okay.
because I do like have like half of a pec missing.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I actually am pretty insecure about it. And while I'm honest about it, I'm definitely in my real life insecure about like ED when it strikes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Appreciate the honesty.
Mhm,
Yeah, I would say those are probably the main ones.
Those are good ones.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Your toxic trait.
Toxic trait, definitely. Is it, well, fuck, where does the list even end there?
Email us a list. We'll post
Just
it.
yeah.
And women will be obsessed with you anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can change
They'll be
it.
like, they'll be like, I love
I
that
have one be like,
toxic.
I have one hit me up. I don't mind your ED. I am non-judgmental.
I
I was like,
cannot.
girl, Talk sweet to me.
Oh my God.
I'm a workaholic, and I have serious commitment issues.
Okay.
That would probably be my two
That's
biggest
okay.
toxic traits.
Don't worry, you're gonna be able to redeem yourself. What's your greenest flag?
My greenest flag, I'm empathic as fuck.
Okay. And honest.
And
I love
honest as
that.
hell. And I feel like I'm of service. Now,
Okay.
this isn't necessarily in the dating market, but just like I do feel like I'm a man, a community man at heart.
I love that.
Yeah.
A role you'd kill to play. Dream role.
Yo,
Freddie?
fit me. Those are two biggest shoes to fill right there. Robert Englund killed that. But I would say a role that I would die for probably would be like a Euphoria.
Oh.
I hate what happened
Like-
on there. Like I hate that I hate God. It's messing me up, but the drug dealer kid Ashtray gets
Oh,
killed
I
in the
know.
Yes.
finale
Yes.
of the last season. And then obviously,
Yeah.
there was an overdose too in real life.
Yeah.
In real life. So
I know,
both
that
of
one
their
was hard.
storylines are gone. But I would love to possibly be in that story as kind of an individual who's trying to survive.
Yeah.
Any
Mhm.
type of survival.
Mhm.
Put me in, coach. Like,
And you
put me in as a
killed that
survivor.
role, like,
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
No pun intended.
Right.
One thing sobriety made better immediately.
Well, no more being, well, I can't say no more being unstable, but memory. I have memory. I'm able to be honest.
Mhm.
I just can't be honest if I'm drinking and drugging. I
Mhm.
just can't do it.
I get that. What one thing made it harder being sober? One thing that
Probably spitting game was very difficult. Like,
I feel like your game's already better sober.
Yeah.
You probably thought it was better when you weren't
Yeah.
sober.
I think I was too upfront.
It was
too.
like
I was
your
too-
goggles, like
Yo,
you probably
I
thought
was
that you were
really
great.
She
on
was-
some
She
shit.
was at a party last night and a guy went up to her and hugged her and said, "You
Literally hugged me. It was like, oh my God, good to see you. And at first I was like, oh, good to see you too. And then he went away and he goes, you don't know who I am, huh? And I said, no, I don't. And then I said, do you know who I am? He's like, actually, I don't. I just wanted to like give you a hug and say you're hot. And I was like,
give me your number."
and then he was like, what's your Instagram? He's like, I'm going to be the
that was
hottest
some
guy.
liquid courage.
Yeah,
right? Oh,
yeah.
I was the hottest guy.
He was
at
like,
this
I'm the
party.
hottest guy in there because I was going there and he was leaving.
No.
And I was just like,
no.
ew.
Blame it
No.
on the alcohol.
Blame it on.
You
I was
would
like,
do that sober.
I
Maybe.
hope you wouldn't do that sober.
No. My whole game is becoming friends.
I want to be a
Yes.
fly in the wall. Let's be fly in the wall and watch him go spit game.
I
in
would
West Hollywood.
love that. You won't even know we're there.
Yes, you'll
We'll
definitely
just
know
make
we're
sure
there.
we're there
We'll
and
be
you'll
taking
know we're there,
notes.
but like you won't see us. Like I just
You'll hear us.
yeah.
I thought I was spitting game this whole time. Right now, but I guess
You're
not.
killing
no.
it.
Okay.
Okay, worst state in LA.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
He's like, there's so many.
Yo.
This will be our second to last question. I just want to worst
Oh.
state story.
Ah, fuck. Was like there's some. I mean, look, I hate to say, it, but it's like getting catfish is pretty brutal.
If you can
It
make catfish.
is.
Yeah.
But
I-
are you meeting them on like either Instagram or a dating
Like a
app?
dating-
Well, yeah, that's where
okay.
I haven't met a girl on a dating app in a minute, but
Okay.
like back in the day,
Of
Yeah.
course.
and especially, I mean, come on, during the whole COVID era, that was all
Right.
you had.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That
right,
was your
right.
whole device.
Yeah, I was on every single one too.
Yeah,
I was
like that's so. No,
Yeah.
I got hit. Oh God, I got hit.
How did you react when you saw her? Like, did
That's why you have to
did
do
she
FaceTime
know?
dates first now.
Yeah, like I started doing that
FaceTime
actually.
dates are
FaceTime
important.
dates first.
That's mandatory.
because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like you are a
Anyone can
vibe,
make
and
a
I
pretty
vibe with
picture.
you. Like now we can. And if I didn't, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I can't hear you, and then just hang up, and my phone's dead, and
You'd
you're
be so
blocked.
bad.
Oh yeah, you gotta block
You're
them
blocked.
fast. And that sucks when you take that level of rejection if you're on the other side. But that's low key. Like,
I know.
But that don't catfish. Be like straight
Exactly.
up.
Just be straight up.
Does it?
Okay.
Don't
Okay,
be a
last
catfish.
Okay.
We're wrapping.
Describe this chapter of your life in 3 words.
This chapter,
Yes.
alignment, trust,
Love that.
and curiosity.
I like that.
Mm.
I like that.
I love that.
Well, Shayne, thank you so much. We'll have to bring you back on to ask
Yes.
the rest of our million questions.
Absolutely.
But we both wish you all the best. It's been really cool getting to see your story and your journey. We can't wait to see it unfold more.
Yes, thank you so much for being open and transparent and sharing all these things. And I hope everyone who's listening, if you're out there and you're struggling with something, I hope that they can take something from you and learn.
Yes.
And just, I want everyone to remember that Milk and Honeys is the ingredients that you need for the best tasting tea in Los Angeles.
That's right, guys.
Or anywhere. Thank you so much, Shayne.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, peace out, people.
See you next time.
Bye.